Yes.
Okay. Hi, my name is TJ Martinell. I work as a staff writer at the Maple Valley Covington Reporter, and I'm going to just talk to you a little bit about two stories I did that involved one involved a crime, one involved an accident. The first story was literally the day after I started working at the newspaper here, and I was driving around back to the office, and I saw a helicopter swirling around the Cedar River, and we learned on the police scanner that there was some activity going on around there. So I drove over to the neighborhood by Dory Dawn, and the road had been sealed off by the King County Sheriff's deputies, and they really did not know what was going on in the situation. There was a lot of confusion. There was a lot of, I think by that time there was around three different helicopters. One of them was from a news station, I think Cairo 7, and so just a lot of uncertainty about what was going on. I wasn't able to get a whole lot of answers for questions I had, and we were just trying to get a story up on the web as soon as possible to kind of explain to people what was going on. So I ended up trekking out on foot around different properties by the river, and just asking the residents if it was okay if I was walking around on their property, and they said it was all right. So I had my camera in hand, and it was a really rainy day, so I couldn't really see much, and I kept trying to go around the police perimeter, which there was no line per se, but they just didn't want us getting near the scene. So eventually I came back without a whole lot of information from the story, but I learned how very little can be learned even though you're really close to a story. Some people were saying that there were two people running away. They weren't sure why they were there. A lot of the deputies had just been called there, so it had been a very big, massive response to what turned out to be a rather small, kind of trivial pursuit. The second story I covered was from the complete opposite angle. I was on a drive along, ride along with a police officer from the Maple Valley Police Department, and so we were just talking about different things that police do, and I was getting a chance to just see from a police officer's perspective what he's looking out for while he's driving along, and what discretion he uses when pulling people over. And while we were in the car, there was a call that came out for a truck that had tipped over and caught on fire. So we got to cruise over to that, and it was fun being in a car where they get to, kind of break all the traffic laws because they're the police. And when we got over there, the truck was fully ablaze. There was a lot of smoke pouring into the area. The roads were blocked. And I had remembered my previous experience where the deputies were trying to keep me away from the scene. So I asked him if it was all right if I went near the truck, and he said as long as you don't get in the way of the firefighters or anybody trying to respond. So I got out of the vehicle with my camera, and I got as close as to the truck as I felt comfortable, and started taking pictures and talking to some of the people who weren't actually involved in the process. But I then called up my editor, who was in Kent, and told him about the story and had him put it up on the web because I felt like it had completely blocked traffic. As I'm sure you all know, that the State Route 169, if it gets blocked at all, it can back up traffic for miles. So I felt like that was something that our readers should, or people in the area should know about. So it was really interesting seeing it from the inside perspective. A lot of times there's just as much confusion as there is on the outside, and they're trying to figure out what's going on. So very, very different when you have the assistance of law enforcement on a story, because you're able to get the information a lot faster. So.